We would now like to address issues related to downtown. A.P. Walther is not only publisher of Salem Monthly, he is also chair of the Downtown Neighborhood Association Can Do, and in that capacity, he would like to ask the next series of questions. A.P.?
Thank you, Cliff. Hello again. Downtown is a special place for me, so I wanted to, and since I'm publisher, I get to say which questions I ask. This question, first question is for Mr. Chapman, please. Downtown belongs to all of us, but for many years there's been troubling vision, different various groups having different competing visions for how we need to proceed with downtown issues. If you were elected mayor, what would you do to bring the sides together?
I appreciate your comment about there being many changes and different views, clashing views over the past years. Again, to me, it's important that, well, actually, I'll just, one of your downtown colleagues spoke to me about a previous mayor who wasn't especially popular, but who got tired of the conflict downtown and said, okay, you 35 folks, go sit down together and find a solution. And they had to battle for 6 or 8 months, but they came to good solutions. And they came to good solutions because in the midst of the battle, they didn't pick one side and say, okay, we're going to go this way. Or turn and pick another group and say, okay, we're going to go this way. There are different opinions. There are a lot of different interests downtown. There are different interests in terms of the large department stores and the small local businesses and the development community all have different interests. All of those interests have to sit together, and the mayor's job is not to say, to pick a side, but to say, find a place where you can all agree. That has to be the focus, in my judgment, of the mayor, of setting that process and making it one that everybody can respect and everybody can buy into. And at the end of the session, however long it takes, it is something that people can agree to. And until we get there, we will continue to have this kind of division and conflict that I think has been downtown for a number of years.
Thank you. I want to ask the same question of you guys, because downtown is for everyone. So not just if your ward is within the downtown area. What would you do to bring the groups together to promote a feeling of ownership for everyone?
Is that to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I do agree that we need to bring those sides together. I think it's important that our downtown includes so many different diverse kinds of businesses, whether it is the large department store or the small retail store, the small restaurant. And I think it is important for the people that represent those businesses and the entities, I think it's important for them to sit down to the table together and work together to make it better, and to be able to realize that they will be stronger and it will be better if they can work together. And I think if we need to bring in even other agencies that have a vested interest in downtown that can help make that happen, not just the city, but if there are if there are other jurisdictions, Marion County, the state, who has several buildings downtown, I know it's not the downtown area, but if they have any sort of vested interest, maybe bringing those parties to the table along with just the people right downtown, I think that could maybe help the process.
Thank you. Mr. Bennett?
Well, part of my ward is downtown. It's the north end of downtown. How do you get everybody? I mean, when did the kumbaya moment occur? I don't know. It doesn't always occur that way. That one of the dynamics of any community, and the downtown is its own community, is going to be a certain amount of constructive disagreement. And that's how I viewed parts of what's gone on over time. I do think we've hit a point where we really have three organizations reflecting different ways of looking at downtown, and I think part of it that's currently occurring is the clarification of those roles. There is the Go Downtown group, which is kind of that commercial marketing booster Main Street You know, what color flowers, what'll the pots look like, keep the place clean, that kind of, what's the advertising and marketing campaign look like. Either it or something like it has sort of always gone on downtown. There's Can Do, which you chair, which I think talks about downtown as a neighborhood, certain quality of life, and I think you're in the process of clarifying your role relative to that group. And then the downtown, let's see, what, Downtown Business Association, I'm trying to remember the...
DAB.
DAB,
Downtown
yeah,
Advisory.
that's the only way I know it, Downtown Association of Business, what is it?
Downtown Advisory Board.
That's it, Downtown Advisory Board. And it looks at other kinds of issues, particularly city decisions, you know, whether it's parking or things like that. And I think as those three groups or something like it come together, we're going to see, you know, that always sought three-legged stool, you know, that'll support the kind of quality activity that we would expect. But I don't think you will find single voices for a community as complicated as downtown. You might find it for parts. I mean, there might be 3 or 4 blocks that agree down there, you know, on something. And I think that's just great, and they'll go ahead. But I think there'll always be that kind of tension, and I think that's constructive. I mean, you know, if you were all being led by one voice, wouldn't you all get a little nervous down there?
Thank you.